Devil Hunters Chainsaw Man chapter 183 titled Barf Head Perv has gave Denji an insight on how to escape the aging devil's pocket dimension. The return of our beloved queen is here. Do not take this away from me. And Denji has his fighting mojo back to live for another day. Let's go ahead and talk about this chapter because this chapter went in ways I expected but also didn't expect, and that's why I feel a little disappointed. When you tease us the end of Akim Power in chapter 182 for only us to get an additional 1 to 2 pages of them smiling and for Denji to say, wait a minute, I remember the snow, and wait a minute, I remember I had so much fun with Akim Power, and then you give us Reze. Oh my god, we have Reze here. We'll get to her in a second, but then that's it. We don't get any like final farewells. We don't get a heartfelt conversation of Denji saying, I went through so much trauma, but I still love Akim Power with all my heart, yada yada yada. No, we don't get that. Denji throws up the Snow Devil. He remembers the memory of Akim Power, and granted, that goes into something that we can discuss later on. He ends up throwing up the Bitterness Devil, and then the Bitterness Devil sparked Denji's memory of coffee because Denji hated the taste of coffee. So congratulations to all of you who said Bitterness, DJ Miles, was not about the bitterness and jadedness that Makima had with Denji. It was more so Reze, because Reze worked at a coffee shop. When Denji had coffee, he said it was bitter, it tasted nasty, but it sparked the memory of him and his relationship with Reze, and he loved that girl. We got the confirmation he loved that girl, and he was upset that, well, there was nothing that came out of it. But unfortunately, even to this day, Denji doesn't know the truth of what happened at the conclusion of the Bomb Girl arc, and it was Makima who stole that love away from us. But goodness, is it so good to see Reze back. Let's go ahead and just talk about Reze before we conclude the Akim Power bit. So we see Reze here. Some people might be thinking this is probably the one shout out we're going to get of Reze, but something tells me that if Denji had this breakthrough of conquering the trauma and conquering the reasons not to live and now to fight for another day, all these memories from part 1 accumulating in this particular moment, I like to believe that this is the end for the most part of Denji's suffering, and now we go up from here, right? Denji has a reason to live. You have to remember that part 1 had Power tell Denji that I'm going to have a contract with you and you're going to find a new reborn again Blood Devil, and then this reborn again Blood Devil can maybe bring me back somehow. I don't know. And I'm thinking if Denji now lost it all, right? He lost Naita, he lost the house, he lost all this stuff. Now a part of me thinks we're going to find the reborn again Blood Devil. Reze will show up at some point in Denji's life. What does that mean between Asa and Yoru? I don't know, but don't steal this away from me, right? Naita may seem dead, but I think she's really kind of dead, not really dead through the powers of like Fami starving Naita, so she's kind of like in this like vegetative state. And if Reze was a core memory of Denji that Pochita wanted to resurface in Denji's life, then I feel like Reze has a very important part to play later on. I don't know how significant, but certainly significant enough for Fujimoto to place it right here when Denji's at his lowest. You would think this is going to be something that Asa and Yoru was a part of in this breakthrough, and you know, they are, because now Asa's returning the favor to what Denji did to her during the Falling Devil arc, right? Like, I'm gonna give you a reason to live. And Denji even says in this chapter, Asa, thank you for reminding me on why I want to live. It's for grub and it's for food. I don't care what the motivation is, as long as anyone has a reason to live for another day and you aren't hurting nobody, then good for Denji. I'm glad that these memories of Aki Power and Reze were enough to fuel Denji to keep on going. But more importantly, we end up finding out in this chapter, Denji comes to the realization that Pochita didn't eat these devils to make him forget. He barfed them up to make him remember and to make him appreciate that no matter how crappy life is, there are reasons to live. And I love that panel where Denji grabs and is holding on to Pochita, and it's like, oh my god, thank you for still being best boy and, you know, just for looking out for a brother. So I really love how tender that moment was. Unfortunately, the whole Akim Power thing, we don't see one final reunion. I mean, we still potentially can with the Death Devil, and who knows whatever, you know, lunacies that she might employ to Denji during the final battle. But for right now, Fujimoto teased us these beloved characters and then just kind of quickly put them away. So how do you guys feel about that? Also, I have a merchandise store called nengarden.com. We do have the War versus Chainsaw Man mouse pad. We have about 7 left, and then the playmat, we have about 12 copies left. Anyway, the other big revelation we get in this chapter is when Asa ends up pulling Denji out of the water, and Denji ends up telling her, so it's not the case that no devil powers work here, right? Because there's no way this huge devil head was inside my stomach. So to me, I think he's just reflecting on the realization that while devil abilities might be ineffective in this place, some powers still might function under certain conditions. And then we do see another panel which follows up the panel of Denji saying Chainsaw Man's stomach, I bet, is still in the real world, which now gives him a great idea to get them out of the aging devil's pocket dimension. So I wonder if Denji's thinking if he just consumes the devils in the real world and they come to the aging devil's world, can that somehow get them to escape? Maybe yes, maybe no, but then you also have to realize that Yoru, one of the most powerful devils in the world, her abilities are ineffective, but not all of them are completely negated. I'm not talking about, you know, Yoru's powers, just going off of what Denji's saying, that some powers still might work. And I'm really curious to see what Denji's going to map out here, because this is now kind of reminding me of the Prison Break arc, where it seemed like there was something more grandiose that could have happened, but Fujimoto just put these characters in this place for, like, you know, a quick realization or a quick character development moment of Asa and Yoru and Denji to, you know, again, appreciate each other's company, work together to get out, which is the whole point of what the aging devil was aiming for anyway. But to that other side of the coin, unfortunately, not explore what could have been this deep forest of like layers and levels of kind of like, you know, One Piece Impel Down, and like what the aging devil's like pocket dimension could allude to, right? Like, you know, we do see that first guy who talked with Asa and Yoru say like, hey, the deeper you go in this forest, the crazier, you know, you might become and you might lose your mind. And now there's a part of me that's thinking, well, we could still very well get that, but now also part of me thinking if Fujimoto gave Denji this idea to escape, I think, you know, they'll probably escape this pocket dimension within like 2 to 3 chapters. But let me know what you guys think. We'll talk about this more in the live reaction later today, which you can go ahead and click on this video right here. Take care.